In the Western countries, we are currently living through an energy crisis. Not a fuel crisis, a human energy crisis. Over 60% of adults say they feel unusually tired at least 3 days a week. And for 90% of us, the solution is the same: the morning cup. You wake up, your brain is in a fog, and you drink coffee to clear it. It feels like a miracle. But within hours, you hit a wall. You feel irritable, your focus drifts, and you reach for a second cup or a sugary snack just to survive until 5 p.m. What if I told you that the very cup of coffee you drank at 7 a.m. created the exhaustion you feel at 3 p.m.? This is what scientists call the false awakening. Today, we are breaking down the molecular biology of caffeine, the hidden danger of adenosine flooding, and the 90-minute rule that will transform your brain's performance forever. To fix your energy, you have to understand the sleep pressure molecule, adenosine. Every minute you are awake, your brain produces adenosine. It binds to receptors that tell your nervous system to slow down. It's a safety mechanism to make sure you eventually sleep. Now here is the secret most people miss. When you sleep, your body washes the brain, clearing out that adenosine. But if you didn't get a perfect 8 hours, which most of us don't, you wake up with residual adenosine. When you drink coffee immediately, the caffeine molecule, which looks almost identical to adenosine, races to those receptors and blocks them. It's like putting a piece of tape over your low battery light. The battery is still low, but you can't see the warning anymore. The problem: caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours. As it begins to wear off around mid-afternoon, all that adenosine that's been building up while you were busy working is suddenly released. It floods your brain all at once. This isn't just a dip in energy, it's a biological system failure. That is the afternoon crash. But the crash isn't the only problem. We have to talk about cortisol, often called the stress hormone. Your body has a natural wake-up system called the cortisol awakening response. Between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., your body naturally spikes your cortisol levels to give you alertness and movement. When you dump caffeine into your system during this natural peak, you are overstimulating your adrenal glands. This is why you feel wired but tired. It creates a state of hypervigilance. In the UK and USA, where workplace stress is already at an all-time high, this extra chemical stress is often the root cause of that underlying morning anxiety or the jitters. Furthermore, by combining caffeine with your natural cortisol spike, your brain builds a tolerance much faster. You aren't getting extra energy, you're just blunting your body's natural ability to wake itself up. Over time, you need the coffee just to reach baseline zero. Here's something rarely discussed. How you drink that coffee matters. In the West, many of us grab a black coffee or a latte on an empty stomach before even eating breakfast. Coffee is highly acidic. On an empty stomach, it can trigger a massive release of gastrin and stomach acid. But more importantly for your energy, it can cause a temporary spike in blood sugar followed by an insulin drop. This creates a double crash. You have the adenosine flood hitting your brain at the same time your blood sugar is bottoming out because you haven't eaten. This is why 3 p.m. feels like you've been hit by a truck. If you must drink coffee early, the science suggests pairing it with a fat or a protein, like a handful of nuts or a full breakfast, to slow the absorption and protect your gut lining. Now, you might be thinking, but my friend drinks coffee at 10 p.m. and sleeps like a baby. Why am I different? The answer lies in your DNA, specifically a gene called CYP1A2. This gene produces the liver enzyme responsible for breaking down caffeine. About 50% of the population are fast metabolizers. They process caffeine quickly. The other 50% are slow metabolizers. If you are a slow metabolizer, that 7 a.m. cup of coffee isn't just affecting your afternoon, it's still active in your system when your head hits the pillow at night. This brings us to the invisible sabotage. Even if you are one of those people who can fall asleep after caffeine, your brain isn't actually resting. Caffeine drastically reduces your slow-wave sleep, also known as deep sleep. This is the stage where your brain physically repairs itself and flushes out metabolic waste. When you block deep sleep with caffeine, you wake up the next morning feeling unrefreshed, regardless of how many hours you were in bed. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. You drink coffee early because you're tired from poor sleep, but that coffee is the very reason your sleep was poor in the first place. By delaying your intake by 90 minutes, you aren't just fixing your afternoon. You are giving your liver a head start to clear the caffeine before your next sleep cycle begins. You are finally giving your brain the chance to actually recover. So, how do we break the cycle without giving up the drink we love? We follow the 90-minute protocol. The first 10 minutes, drink 500 milliliters of mineralized water. Your brain is dehydrated after sleep. Hydration clears brain fog faster than caffeine ever will. The 20-minute light hack. Get outside. Even if it's a gray morning in London, that ambient light tells your brain to stop producing melatonin and start clearing adenosine naturally. The delay. Wait until your natural cortisol peak starts to drop, usually about 90 to 120 minutes after waking. The L-theanine add-on. If you find coffee makes you anxious, try drinking it with L-theanine, often found in green tea or as a supplement. It smooths out the caffeine, giving you the focus without the jitters. The first 2 days of delaying your coffee will be hard. You might feel a slight headache as your body adjusts to its natural rhythms. But by day 3, something amazing happens. You'll notice that at 3 p.m., you're still awake. You're still sharp. You don't need that second or third cup. You are reclaiming your biology from a chemical loop. This video is for educational purposes. If you have heart conditions or severe anxiety, consult a professional before changing your stimulant intake. I am challenging every one of you watching to try the 90-minute rule for 1 week. Comment "Challenge accepted" below. We want to see how many of you can break the cycle. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new protocol. And if you know someone, a friend, a colleague, or a family member who is constantly hitting that afternoon wall, hit the share button and send this to them. Let's help more people reclaim their energy. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.